Hello and welcome to The Print. I'm speaking with Derek O'Brien, leader of the Trinamool Congress in the Rajya Sabha. Mr. O'Brien, in the Rajya Sabha on Thursday, you had this interesting intervention where you talked about the use and abuse of social media. Why did you make that intervention?
No, it was part of a calling attention motion. So we called the attention of the minister. So that's why we asked him on Trinamool, I asked him 4 direct questions. Obviously, those questions, we didn't get any answers. 2, the questions obviously touched a raw nerve.
Right.
And 3, the nerve was so raw that in all the Rajya Sabha bulletins and in all the roundups in the evening, they blacked that out. They carried every other speaker, but except me.
So what is a problem? What are you arguing about?
There are just, problem is just this. The government are trying to show now that they're reaching out to Facebook, they're reaching out to WhatsApp and all these other technology platforms to see how they can curb this misinformation or fake news going out. So they're trying so hard and
Which is what is leading to lynchings, you're saying also.
That's the debate next week.
Okay.
Yes. Now, my point is that why only blame the technology platforms because this conditioning of the mind, this whole thing of digital mobs, all this was a creation of the BJP.
But how are you so sure?
But why was postcard news taken off by Facebook? Okay. Everyone knows, and we have to acknowledge also that the BJP were the first movers, But now they have to handle this. They've created this monster. Yeah, that's the expression. They've created this monster, and now the monster is coming right back at them. And I didn't speak about rhetoric. I asked them 4 specific questions. I asked them about postcard news on the floor of the House.
Which is this website that has been taken down?
Facebook, yes. On the floor of the House, the IT Minister of India tells me that it's a neutral site, it's not right-wing. Now, anybody who's on the social media will know about postcard news.
Right.
The second one, they have 2 or 3 of these handles. Now, if you mention those handles, they say freedom of expression. Freedom of expression doesn't mean that you can show a Bhojpuri film clipping and then say it's from Bengal.
Okay.
And
No, but anyway, some of these handles you're saying that are promoting hatred, and your argument is that it's promoting lynching.
I think there is a method in this. And I think when we have the debate in Rajya Sabha next week on lynching, it'll also be linked to how messages reach the mainstream media. Because the belief is that it's not just happening by chance. It's part of a bigger plan. Right. And they got very upset when I said RSS, but I said RSS is rumor spreading society.
No, be that as it may, but you also said at the Rajya Sabha that there is this Facebook page called India with Namo, referring to Narendra Modi.
The other way around, Namo with India.
Namo with India. And you implied...
I didn't imply. It was direct. I'm not implying.
Which is?
I'm telling you that I asked the government a direct question and I asked the minister a direct question. Who's paying for this? Who's funding this? Let us know. Let Facebook know. I also asked another question. If you know these big WhatsApp groups, there are thousands of these WhatsApp groups which are spreading bile. I asked the minister to ask WhatsApp.
So who do you think is behind this group, India with Namo group?
It's pretty obvious that the BJP and its associates spend millions and billions of dollars on the social media. It's part of their perception changing plan. But the good thing is that the 2 things have happened. One is we have asked these questions.
Right.
And we've got no answers.
Okay.
Fair enough, I'll accept one of his answers which said that somebody went to a party meeting, so okay, leave that. The second thing which has happened between that meeting and between my 4 questions and today, what has happened is that the other political parties, the non-BJP parties, and you know who all they are, all of them called me up and said, you really raised some very, very serious points. We need to get together to take these fellows on.
So everybody is very disturbed by these WhatsApp groups, these Facebook pages, which are allegedly promoting hatred and enmity.
They are not only promoting hatred and enmity, but they are also trying to bring it into the mainstream media, into the conversation in the mainstream media. And I think the mainstream media has now, in the last maybe 6 weeks or 2 months, got a little more careful. Otherwise, they were just carrying anything.
So there is one thing for these Facebook pages or whatever it is on social media to promote enmity and hatred, and it's a whole different story when you're alleging that the BJP is behind it.
I'm not alleging that the BJP is behind it. Why are you saying I'm alleging? I'm not alleging. I'm directly charging them that the BJP is behind this. And there's enough reason to prove. We'll give you 50, 60 examples to prove on the floor.
So that's my question. How are you going to prove this? You have no evidence.
Of course we have evidence. You need to see what is the kind of evidence. These people keep saying, what proudly followed by Prime Minister Modi. Okay. You look at who they are following on Twitter. You look at what.
No, so just because they're being followed by Prime Minister.
Not followed. Please understand. You have to look at what the content is available.
Right. So just because they are being followed by the Prime Minister or several other BJP ministers doesn't mean that they are funded by the BJP.
This is nothing new. 1.5 years ago and again 9 months ago, Trinamool Congress have brought this issue up. We have made certain charges. Why do ministers, MPs and MLAs have to now write to Facebook saying that please bring postcard news back? Because look at the content. I'm only basing myself on content. And this is not about right wing or left wing. Right. Any form of content which is incorrect, sometimes you can make a mistake. Okay. Sometimes you can make a mistake.
So they want postcard news back. They want this website back. And you're saying, why is a BJP minister writing?
No. I also want to know from the minister, which he didn't answer. So let me try again through you. Is what, besides that postcard news, why can't they release WhatsApp, help them release the names of all these big WhatsApp groups? I have 2 points to make. Okay. One, you can't only blame the digital platforms. Okay. You can't only blame them and say they have a role to play. And yes, now they're trying to be reactive and do some stuff, but you can't only blame the digital. And number two, you have to keep your own house in order. Mm-hmm. But I am afraid this is not going to happen, because this is the way they want to run these up to the 2019 elections. Because I want to come back to the main issue here. Because, if you judge the BJP government on JUDGE, jobs, underperformance of the economy, D, if you judge them on these parameters, let me finish, Jyoti. Yeah, if you judge them on these parameters, they will fail miserably. Okay. That's why I use the social media. And the second point I want to make is, don't use this as a freedom of expression issue. Okay. Because I have freedom of expression, so I'll use some F's and B's against you now, and you'll say, no, this is my freedom of expression.
So did you get a response from the government? Are they assuring you that they are going to unfollow these people, these handles, these social media pages?
The IT minister, who's a gentleman, he had no answers to these questions. Nor will we ever get any answers. I asked the railway minister and the finance minister during the budget speech to answer 11 questions. They haven't answered.
Which political parties are with you, with the Trinamool on this issue?
There's not with the Trinamool on this issue. I think it's very clear. On one side, you have the BJP and its 1.5 allies who are left.
Mm-hmm. But they have several allies.
They have 1.5. Who's the ally? Shiv Sena voted against them in the no confidence motion. Did not vote with them.
Going forward, do you think that this is only going to get worse?
Yes, but I'm not. If you're saying get worse, means the BJP will carry on doing this. But we have to keep exposing them. We have to keep calling their lies. We have to keep calling their bluff. And the best form of attack is counter-attack. So they don't. Maybe 4-5 years ago in 2014, even parties like the Trinamool or the SP or the BSP and the Congress and the DMK and the RJD and the AAP and everybody else, we didn't have the ammunition to hit back. We don't have millions of dollars to buy troops.
And now you do?
Of course we do.
Why? Because you're still in a majority. The combined opposition is still in a majority in the Rajya Sabha, is that?
No, it's beyond that. The combined opposition is also in a majority with the people. The combined opposition is in a majority.
So what happened? So what happened in the Rajya Sabha? You were saying. No, you're saying that you see in the Rajya Sabha.
Rajya Sabha, the numbers are very clear. They don't have the numbers. The BJP don't have the numbers. They are a minority. They're skittish in the Rajya Sabha, but that's for another day.
Mr. O'Brien, thank you so much for talking to The Print.